Beauties. It's Mary here, and we are really excited to have a post-Oscars show. We've got celebrity hairstylist and Aussie stylist Laura Palco here, and she's going to recreate one of the biggest looks we saw on the red carpet last night, and that was those gorgeous glam kind of retro waves we saw on Emma Stone, Carly Kloss, like a bunch of people were rocking them, and now I'm going to rock them.
Today's your day.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Monday is your day.
Oh yes, most glamorous Monday ever, easily.
So what we did to start was we prepped her hair with Aussie's Headstrong Volume. So this is great because it has the jojoba oil and Australian aloe and sea kelp, so it'll bulk her hair up a bit, so we don't have to worry about putting in extra pieces for extra hair, and it'll make sure it holds it for up to 24 hours without going limp. So I just worked that in with a little bit with a brush, blow dryer, just kind of prepping it all up. So now what we're gonna do is I'll move you so we start like this. Usually I section out the hair, the front. I section this out. And then, as you can see too, we already did her part. We sort of already got it going with how we wanted to do it, so it was already going in the direction we wanted because we want this sort of movement. I'm going to section this off.
Clips come in handy.
Oh yeah, can never have enough. And they seem to go missing. They're like socks in the dryer.
Like bobby pins.
Totally. And then in the back, we're just going to start down here at the nape of the neck. So the sectioning you're looking to take is about an inch, inch and a half. You would kind of go by the same width that your iron is that you're going to use. So I'm going to use an inch and a half iron, so that's about the sectioning that I'm going to do.
Oh, it's a great rule of thumb.
Yeah, you can kind of, makes it a little easier. So what we're going to do is we're going to use Mega hairspray before each section in a Mega bottle. So in case you're unsure, it's all Mega right now. And this is just going to give it a little hold. A good trick with hairspray though is you never want to spray. So with hairspray you want to get a mist. Like so, this is a mist you can see on your hand. You never want to spray hairspray like this because that's what you're going to get on your hair. Which is a really good rule that I learned probably later than I needed to when doing this for a living. But it's a great trick to remember. So don't get too close even if you're hitting the end and you're a little like, okay, let's go. So then I'm just going to split this in half. And what you're going to do is you're going to curl away from the face. These GHD irons are amazing because they don't crease, they don't give you any of that. And you can move just right around like that.
About how long do you hold it before you release?
I would usually just say about 2 seconds on your hair. But if it's thicker hair, she has finer hair, so I don't need to hold it as long, obviously, because you don't want to burn it.
Yeah.
But thicker hair can take a little more and requires a little more. Then you kind of let the heat cool down a little bit in your hand before letting it drop. And then same thing on the other side, only this time, since it's the opposite way, you're going to go away from the face and just work your way around.
And are you leaving the ends in or out?
Yeah, I leave the ends all the way in. Leaving the ends out is really helpful for more of a wave rather than a curl. Because the curl, kind of what you see in the end is that the ends are turned under, whereas a bend or a wave, having the ends straight implies that it looks a little more natural and textured and all those things. Not as clean and polished.
For this look, we want
Very clean and very polished.
So do you find that spraying before you curl is going to help your curls stay, as opposed to just spraying afterwards?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think spraying afterwards is always helpful, but the before is really what you need to kind of lock it in. And you can see too how it protects your hair at the same time. So you can see the steam that comes off. It's going to come off no matter what, whether you put product on or not. But usually if it comes off without, that's your hair kind of singeing a bit, or it taking the moisture out of the cuticle of your hair. Yeah, rather than, you know, just the product sealing in.
So I noticed that you're kind of clasping her curls at the end. Why do you do that?
So what you're doing is there's obviously a lot of heat on the hair before you drop it when you take it out of the iron. So that way you can kind of hold it here, and then this you let it cool down for a second in the shape that it had on the iron, and then you let it drop. Because ultimately in the end what we're going to do is we're going to brush it out. So you want to kind of maintain that before letting it all fall out. Because then if you don't, you'll just have to go back and recurl piece after piece, which is not fun. Kind of defeats the whole prepping process.
Cradle those curls.
Exactly.
And the mousse that you applied, that's something else that can kind of help with curl hold. I asked because everybody always wants to know, how do you make your curls last?
Yes, absolutely. It has up to 24 hours of hold, which kind of combining the two is definitely helpful. And I know a lot of people are scared of mousse because
Because
we all did it in high school or something, and it was for like your crunchy curly hair that you used. But no, this mousse is great, and it definitely, when you work it in properly, it's not going to leave that crunch or that hard texture that you're afraid of.
So don't be afraid of mousse.
Do not be afraid. It is a good product. Even gel is also a good product. Ozzy makes a wonderful gel. But that is definitely much more of a structured look. And if you're nervous too with mousse, I did it when her hair was wet or when her hair was dry. But if you do it when the hair is damp and you start with a blow dryer, it's actually works. It helps distribute it really well. The moisture that's left over in the hair really distributes the product evenly, so it's not crunchy in one spot over another.
That's good. Don't want those crunchy spots. So it feels like the bottom layer is mostly curled.
Yep, we're just working our way up.
1.5 inch section at a time.
I know.
Do you have any suggestions for curling the back of your head when you can't see it?
That's a great question.
You know what it is? It's all about how you hold your iron. So when you're going, you just have to think about your body position. So when you're in the back, when you're going away from the face on this side, you're going to hold it over and wrap it around like this, as opposed to this side, which is easier because you can go like this. So you just have to remember your body positioning. And I think it is helpful to talk to yourself as you do it, where you're like over, around, and then you'll start to catch the groove.
Oh.
But it is all about body positioning. And once you've got the positioning down, even if you feel like you look stupid or you feel uncomfortable in the position, it's working. The stupider you feel, the more it's probably working.
And it's just you in your bathroom, so
Yeah,
the
no one's
stakes are
gonna see.
low.
As long as you don't drop it, as long as you
Yeah.
don't drop the iron, you're okay.
Gosh.
That's the worst.
In your long career, have you gotten many curling iron injuries and burns?
Oh yeah, I've definitely had a curling iron on the floor on like a location shoot, and I stepped on it. Just stupid things that you do and you pretend you didn't do them because you don't want anyone to know that you really just did that. Yeah, I've done that. I've definitely set it on like a low table and walked into it and had like a dot from the front. Yeah, another reason these irons are great because you're protected.
Yeah,
Yeah, so many dumb things.
I've definitely burned myself.
Oh yeah, and then only to think about the things you've done to yourself when doing your own hair when you were young.
Oh my gosh.
Have you ever clasped your ear with a flat iron?
No, but
That one was, I did that when I was in high school, and I remember being like, wow, really?
I've burned my neck a lot.
Yeah, the neck is always a hot spot.
Things we do for our hair.
Oh yeah. But it's so funny because when you're younger, you're not scared to do these things and try
Right.
these things. Like, if you burn yourself, you're going to go right back the next day.
Totally.
If you burn yourself as an adult, you're like, I don't know about that. I'm going to just try to leave it natural. I'm going to let it air dry.
It's so true. And I can never get myself to, like, a lot of curling irons, and especially ones, come with those gloves, and I never use them.
Never.
Yeah.
Those go in the box for me to
Yeah.
throw out, to be
Same.
honest with you. Like,
Just kind of risk it.
yeah, it's okay. Your fingers can take a lot more, though.
That's true.
Your fingers can take so much more.
So you were working this weekend, I understand.
Yes, I worked this weekend.
Where did the looks for, you said Demi Lovato
Mm-hmm.
and
Poppy
Poppy
Deli.
Deli. Oh, she looked great.
Yes, that was her idea to do that. And I loved it.
Yeah.
It was definitely more of a modern twist on a pretty wave.
It worked really well.
Yeah. Well, she's so beautiful.
I know. That's
You really
true.
can't go wrong.
It's really-
And she has that perfect angel blonde hair
Mhm.
that you're like, well, every blonde head always seems to look prettier.
Yeah, it's true with like curls and braids and stuff, especially like you can just see a lot of it.
Totally. And you can see also too, there's more dimension with lighter hair. Whereas
Yeah.
dark hair, sometimes it can get lost.
Yeah.
Which is why people are always pushing people with dark hair. Oh, put some highlights in like what you have. So
Uh-huh.
it has a little more dimension and movement.
Yeah, I just got highlights for the first time, like, gosh, well, I guess more than a year ago. And now I feel like I can never go back to, like, solid colored hair.
No,
I'm so
it's
spoiled.
true. You feel boring once you have solid color
Right.
hair.
How's it looking, Jess?
Fabulous. Very curly.
Yay.
Does anyone have any questions out there?
No, we're getting some hellos though.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
Let us know if you guys have questions. We have an expert who can answer all of your hair quandaries.
It doesn't even have to be about
Yeah,
this particular look.
whatever. What are your hair struggles? Tell us.
Tell us any struggles you have. Because we've all got plenty
Oh,
with
yeah.
our hair.
Totally. What's your like go-to? Do you style your hair every day or?
Oh,
you
I'm
keep
the
it simple?
worst. I think I let it air dry personally, but I think the most important thing is what you do in the shower. Is how you prep your hair, how you condition it, because that's ultimately what matters the most. If your hair's healthy and shiny, like Ozzy's 3-minute Miracle Moist,
We were
is-
just talking about that.
yeah, it leaves your hair soft, shiny, and healthy. So when I get out of the shower, it doesn't feel like straw. So I don't have to go over it with a flat iron. I don't have to curl it. I don't have to do anything. I can let it dry and it's soft and smooth. So I think that's the most important thing for anyone to do with their hair, is to really prep it in the shower.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like a deep conditioner like that really can make all the difference.
Yeah, deep conditioners are definitely where it's at, for sure.
And that one's such a favorite.
What?
That one's such a favorite too.
Yeah.
Our readers.
Like, from mother to daughter.
Yep.
Definitely.
Okay, so now we're going to move into the sides. And here you usually take slightly smaller sections because you want it a little tighter.
Aside from the smaller section, is there anything different you're going to do with the iron for these pieces?
This is just, I usually go under and around instead of over. But you definitely want to be sure you leave it on long enough so it stays.
So are you still going away from the face, or?
Yes, definitely still away. That's very important. But I loved that everyone did these kinds of waves.
I know, it's just so classic. It just felt, I don't know, just so glamorous.
It is, and everyone looks beautiful when they try like that.
Right.
It's like every man looks amazing in a tux, you know?
Right.
Every girl is going to look beautiful with a perfect wave.
Yeah, I was surprised by how many people went for the look, especially because, like, you know, the weather yesterday was, like, kind of
Oh, God.
humid
It was cold.
and chilly. I don't know. It was a little, at least it wasn't as windy as it was the day before. But you'd
True.
think, you know, people would be putting their hair up or back, but everybody went for it and paid off.
Yeah, also it depends on what the dress looks like, because, you know,
That's
it's so
true.
much about the dress. So when your dress is off the shoulder,
Uh-huh.
or there was a lot of strapless,
Yeah.
then having that exposed leaves more room for a little hair in front or off to a side. And you also can, you know, any makeup complements something like that.
Right. I think we saw a lot of red lips too, which is like kind of consistent with that classic wave.
So many red lips.
So many.
And peach makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of blush.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There was a lot more blush than I feel like there usually is. But yeah, it's not really a bronzer type of event.
Yeah, bronzer's hard to pull up, especially when you don't know the lighting situation. It can really come off
Right.
badly.
Very true.
It's a lot of highlighter too, which is pretty much on par with what we've been seeing the past year. The dewy cheeks.
Yes, very glowy, which is always pretty
It is.
if well applied.
Yeah, it's true.
That's
Not-
another thing I have a hard time with at home. Sometimes
Yeah.
I get out in real life and I'm like,
Whoa.
whoa, this in the car is not what it looked like in my bathroom.
Yep. I'm guilty of that. Especially when you use like an illuminating blush and then an illuminator on top of an illuminating foundation. Just really glow.
Yeah, you're like, whoa. How funny do you look right now?
I love it when my hair's all like piled up.
Oh my god.
I feel like I don't even know what. Like a housewife from the 50s. It's
Totally.
It's kind of fabulous. Seems like a pretty simple look that people could actually recreate on their own.
Yeah, it's really
It's just
not
more curling.
It's not that hard. It's just like I said, it's about your body positioning and knowing that you're going away from the face, away from the face, away from the face. And then from there, it is pretty simple to achieve. And it's such a beautiful look. It's finding the occasion to do it.
Right. Weddings.
Weddings are perfect,
Yeah.
yes. Weddings are great.
When you get to a certain age, there are a lot of those.
Oh my God, it's either all or none.
Yep, yep,
1 year, next thing you know, you have 10.
yep. It's funny how that happens.
Okay, and then the very top, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go straight back and away. So the very top section is the only part that you really need to change up to.
And does this kind of just give it that movement that you're going for?
Yes, and it'll give you that lift at the top as well as that kind of swoop that we're looking for. So you're gonna spray. And now I'm going to show you how to do it if you're doing it on yourself at home too, because it's hard to envision.
I can feel it.
Yeah. Like I feel the pulling, it's moving. I'm going to do that. And then for the very top, usually, to keep that height and let it cool, I'll use a dovetail clip. One of these. Just on the top 3. Put it into place. The rest you can just let fall.
Do you have a favorite look you've created over the years?
A favorite look. It's so funny because you like forget what happened the week before or the day before, and you start thinking about like, what's the next thing I'm gonna do. I really liked, there was something I did on Poppy the other day where I used a lot. It was low and it was a ponytail, and I made it a lot longer, and there was a lot of cord wrapped around the bottom.
Ooh.
But I thought it looked really pretty. That's the most recent thing I can think of that I was really, really into.
Is there something that a lot of your clients are asking for, or does it just kind of depend?
I feel like there's been a lot of slick, and there's a lot of kind of that textured wave. I feel like that's what I get asked the most.
Makes sense. I've seen a lot of that.
Yeah. Yeah, the textured wave feels like it's gonna stick around for a while.
It's timeless.
Yeah. But it's nice because it looks cool, but it still looks like you tried and not too hard.
That's what I think LA is about in a lot of ways, you know?
Very true.
Just trying, but not looking too hard.
Okay, so let me show you how to do this on the top of your head. So if you're parting it this way, I'm not actually going to curl my hair because that would look so stupid in the very front. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take the section and you're going to hold your arm like this, and you're going to clamp it in. You're going to clamp it in and then just twist around like this until the end. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So again, it's that like awkward body positioning that you need to do, but it's over and around and twisting like that.
And clamp towards
You're gonna clamp this way
Gotcha.
with the
Practice
barrel
that.
in front. Yeah, and don't get discouraged if it doesn't look right. Just pay attention to how you did it the first time in case that was the wrong way, so you know how to do it the opposite way. So just pay attention to what you're doing. Definitely talk to yourself, I'm telling you. It helps. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna give a final spritz. Again, further away. Sorry, you can't breathe.
That's okay.
Good thing it smells good.
Yeah, it does. Very fruity, very fresh. It's good. I want to, be able to wear this hair tomorrow too. So.
Oh, it'll be perfect. And what
So
you're gonna
I
do is you're gonna really get in there with the brush.
It's not like a Boar
Does it matter the type of brush you use?
This one is a Mason Pearson, and
Oh,
it's
okay.
nylon and
Of course.
Boar. So there's
the
a lot of
hologram.
good imitations out there if this is not really on your
Price point.
on your price point for sure. It becomes a bit much. I need it, but if I didn't need it and it was just I was just had it for doing my hair at home, I don't think I would have it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see just a good brush through, and you have a really pretty wave.
I'm always afraid to brush through my curls.
Me
but,
too.
like, you just have to do it.
Yeah, you just have to really get in there. I remember I was assisting someone a long time ago, and it was for a fashion show, and they did like waves like this, and they were like, okay, now once you're done setting it, brush it out. And I'm all like, he came over, he was like, brush the hair, and I was like, okay, and I was like, okay, I got it now. I will never forget that. I was like, all right, I'll brush the hair. So now we're gonna take these front two out. But yeah, you can't be scared to do it, especially once you've let it set. Brushing it instantly is kind of like, you might brush it out, but if you take the time to set it, take the time to do everything, it's not gonna go anywhere.
How long should you usually let your hair sit?
You should let your hair sit. It depends on your hair type, really, actually. But I would say, like her hair, obviously not very long, but if you have thicker, coarser hair, that actually, or you have a curl to start with, your hair kind of has a little more movement, you really don't need to let it set for very long because it's going to want to retain that curl. So the straighter and limper the hair, or finer the hair, you need to let it sit a bit longer. And definitely spray in it. Like, don't be scared.
Just do your makeup while you're waiting for it, and then come back.
Because if anything, it'll just be a little too tight, and then you just keep brushing. You can always take a blow dryer to it with a brush, just on light heat, and go like that, and that'll kind of smooth it out so it's a bit more tame and not too tight. final spritz over the top.
The red carpet ready, just a day late.
1 day late, but you look amazing.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. It feels amazing, and I love this style. It's so classic.
I'm going to turn you all the way around. So you can see the
So
whole
pretty.
thing.
Do a little shake for us, Mary.
Like that?
So pretty, yes.
Oh, I think I love it. It feels amazing.
It looks really good on you.
Yeah, thanks. I'm
Of
so
course.
excited. Any last minute questions that we got? No. Well, thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you so much, Laura,
Of
for
course.
for coming on behalf of Aussie. And until next time, guys.